All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video leading up to the start for The Walking Dead Season 10 after we just saw the finale for The Walking Dead Season 9. In this one, we're going to start things off by giving our thoughts on whose voice we think it was that we heard at the end of the finale on the radio. Alright, so this is definitely the biggest sort of discussion topic that we have after the Season 9 finale for The Walking Dead. And definitely wanted to give my thoughts on it after I was able to listen to it back a few times there with you guys. You can rewind this video if you want to listen to it back yourself as well. So for me, I mean, as far as who it sounds like, we got lots of questions here from you guys, which we'll get into, a lot of which are, Trev, who do you think it is? Do you think it's, somebody from Fear the Walking Dead? Do you think it's Maggie? Do you think it's Rick? Do you think, like, Jadis or Ann? A lot of different, possibilities here for who it could be. It's so scratchy, it's really hard to kind of get a voice print or get an understanding of who we think it is. Now, I could be wrong with this one, as it's kind of just predictions or discussion. I mean, it's not officially confirmed yet who it is at all. They won't tell us. What they've said is it will be revealed in Season 10. So in The Walking Dead Season 10, we'll find out for sure 100% who it was. But to me, it sounds like it's probably going to be somewhat similar to how it was in the comics. Now, in the comics, Eugene fixes the radio, and here we have him here, and he's shocked because he starts to hear someone on the radio. Read you loud and clear, Eugene Porter. Come in. Do you read us? And then so he does, and they basically start having a conversation, and he gets to find out a little bit more about them, and they talk back and forth for a while until he finds out that it is this character from the Commonwealth named Stephanie. Who is new, who is basically a middle-aged female survivor character from the Commonwealth, which is obviously, if you guys don't know about the Commonwealth, we've discussed it before over the last few years. It's a huge community, the biggest we've ever seen, and it's sort of a setup for maybe the storyline after the Whispers. So it just kind of gets started slowly. In the TV series version, we've seen Maggie leave and go to help Georgie with some stuff, and it sounds like that could be the Commonwealth there. So it's possible that Eugene could be on the radio with, it could be the same, like it could be verbatim the same as it was in the comics with Stephanie at the Commonwealth. The only reason why it's a bit strange for the TV series is because Maggie's already there. So even though they've sent, messages to Maggie and they haven't heard back from her as of yet, it's a bit strange to me because you have basically, if he's on the phone with somebody from the Commonwealth, or on the phone, but on the radio with somebody from the Commonwealth, or if he's going to be, and that's whose voice is coming through, it's just a bit different with the TV series version because Maggie's already there. So it doesn't do that much for us as it did in the Walking Dead comic book series version, where he's meeting with someone or he hears someone and he has this conversation with her and he gets to know her, and that's their first sort of meeting with the Commonwealth. The TV series, we've already done that. We've already met Georgie. Maggie's already left to go and basically live with them for quite a while. We've had time skips, during that time, even after the 6-year time skip, there's months have gone by, winter time has gone by, and then Season 10 will come back, so it will be quite a while down the road. So if it's just somebody from the same community that Maggie is in, then that would be quite strange for the TV series. So it wouldn't surprise me if they sort of change it up with a TV series and they do something where the community that Maggie went to maybe isn't as big, and maybe the person Eugene is talking to is actually from some other kind of community, which could be new, that they add in, because they have to kind of make it all work. And with the TV series, they have some loose ends going with the characters that have left. So they have Rick that's gone, so he's likely at a community that's probably different. I don't think it's the Commonwealth. Some people do, some people don't, but I don't think Rick and Maggie are in the same place right now. That's my interpretation of it. Same with Jadis, too. My interpretation. Some people have brought up ideas. They think in the TV series version, maybe Georgie's group could actually be villains or could be evil people. And so maybe in that case, Rick and Maggie could be in the same place, and maybe they're not allowed to leave or something like this. It's really tricky to say right now because a lot of this is probably subject to change, and they'll have to kind of work it in to have it make sense to where they're still doing some of the important comic book moments, like Eugene reaching out and meeting somebody new on the radio, which is what we might be seeing just the start of here in season 9. But then also, how does that work in with Rick being missing via the helicopter, Jadis being likely in the same community as him, but then Maggie being with Georgie's community at the Commonwealth, and then of course, in the comic version, Eugene meeting somebody new from a community that they hadn't met so far. So maybe it's just somebody new 100% altogether, and it could be this Stephanie character, but maybe Georgie's group isn't the Commonwealth, or there's just something there that's a little bit different to kind of make it fit or make it work. So long story short, my predictions for it are, I think it's probably somewhat the same as it was in the comics, and I think it's a new character. I think it probably is Stephanie from the comics who becomes more important later for Eugene, and I just don't know how that's going to work in the TV series version with the fact that Maggie's already supposed to kind of be at the Commonwealth or Georgie's group, which we thought was the Commonwealth. So leave comments below. Let me know what you guys think about that. Listen to the voice and tell me if it sounds like anybody that you're familiar with in The Walking Dead or Fear. And for me, it's just not. I don't recognize the voice. So unless it's so scratchy that I can't tell, or it is somebody new, I just simply don't recognize it. So let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. Some of the other questions that kind of came in for today. So some guesses on the radio is what a lot of people had to say. Basically similar kind of thing. Here's one from RJ who said, my guesses for the voice on the radio, Jadis, Maggie, Althea, Georgie, or June. So there's some different ones too. I'm not real good at placing Althea, Georgie, or June's voices just yet, probably, because they haven't been in the series that long. But it doesn't sound to me like Jadis or Maggie, even though I could be wrong. Steve Vest says, I'm shocked to see that this season of The Walking Dead was better than most. I never thought it would return to this level or be this good. And I agree, man. If you think about we'll do a video soon on this, 10 years of Walking Dead, I'm going to call it, and we'll kind of take a look back at all the different seasons. But if you look at all the incredible episodes they did this year of Walking Dead, from Rick leaving to the Whisperer's introduction to Beta versus Daryl to Michonne's flashback episode to episode 15, the calm before, with just all these massive amounts of character dead, like over a dozen characters killed by the Whisperers, with a few big ones. And then the finale with the snowstorm blizzard, that was something unlike. That's just one episode. They did this whole blizzard thing. They put all this effort in to just one episode. That was all that just for one. Fear the Walking Dead did like this storm thing, and they used it for like almost half a season. It was like, or at least I'm exaggerating, at least 3 or 4 episodes. And the Walking Dead just went over it for one. That was cool, man. So yeah, they definitely put an unbelievable amount of effort into this season, and I personally think it paid off. I think it was great. Michael Dilley, Trev, do you think the woman on the radio was a Fear character, or Jadis, or Maggie, or even Commonwealth? So yeah, I'm going to say Commonwealth right now, but I just don't know what that looks like in the TV series, whether or not they have to somehow split up those groups to have it make sense for Maggie and Georgie on one side, and have him be meeting with somebody as from another Commonwealth type of group, and the TV series may have kind of 2 groups for Commonwealth or something like that. AK-47 Domination says, it feels like alright gets longer with every video. So you're absolutely right. It has been. And I just been, the length, I suppose you could say the length of my alrights is directly correlated with the amount of enthusiasm and excitement I feel over The Walking Dead. And since it's been so awesome this year, the alrights have gotten longer because it's just been so incredibly well done this year. Dorie Nichols says, Dr. Baby Daddy, lines like this is why I love Negan. EH thinks it is Jadis on the radio, so no problem with that. If you do, no problem. I don't think it's easy to say right now. Blue Boy 1212 says, Season 9 is the best since Season 5. And yeah, it's been really good, man. Season 5 is widely regarded as the best season, but now that Season 9 is over, I'm going to take a look at Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb and see what some of the sites and critics, reviewers have said for Season 9 versus 5 and versus the others, and whether or not they think Season 9 is the new standout best season of the show. Certainly, I think Rick's last episode is the best episode of the show. So, it's got one of the best episodes going forward, and lots of other really great ones too. Ed Newman says, Don't want them to kill Lydia. She is the best eye candy on the show. But it's so weird because I look at his display picture and it's got like a 40-year-old guy with like a mustache. I'm like, dude, like a teenager or something. I don't know. Like me, I'm 32. When I look at the actress who plays Lydia, she just looks like a kid to me. But I don't know. If you're in that age category, it's no problem. I know some older guys are, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to that one. Vinyl I6420 says, I do love the snowball fight, seeing Lydia smiling and happy and the rest of the gang having fun. It's very true. And it's weird with the Walking Dead TV series. It's almost like it's become a lot like Game of Thrones in a lot of ways, where in Game of Thrones, the characters you least expect to survive on the longest do, and the characters you think that are at the forefront and are always going to be there are not. And when I look at The Walking Dead now, it's like, oh my God, it's just like that. Like, Rick's gone, Maggie's gone, like all these characters that Michonne's going to be gone. And Daryl and Carol, two characters that nobody ever thought earlier on in the series were going to survive, are still there. It's like the characters you least thought. Instead of Lydia, or instead of Henry being alive or Carl, it's Lydia instead. It's like the characters that survived are the ones you never thought would, and almost were the least predictable to be there. I wouldn't think that Lydia would outsurvive Carl and Henry. When I read the comic version, I'm like, I can't believe Lydia's there and the others are not. It's really crazy. Connie TY says it's not Maggie on the radio, so okay, cool, no problem. Joshua says petition for Trev to try and do the longest alright next video. So I'd rather not game the alrights. I think they just come naturally based on how I'm feeling about the topic and about the series at that time. Note in Not says too many effing commercials. Maggie was on the radio. Morgan finds out Alpha killed Henry. Morgan gonna go crazy and kill Alpha. Great job, Trev. So Morgan returning. So I am seeing some fan theories about the possibility of Morgan returning to The Walking Dead. Hey, you know what? I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it if they wrapped up Fear in a couple years, season 5 or 6 or whatever, and they had, those characters come back into the original Walking Dead show, to amalgamate it. So that's kind of the fan theory. Do I think they'll do it? Then they have to say goodbye to Fear, and I don't think they're going to want to lose 16 episodes of Fear a year, but if enough people stop watching Fear, then we could see it. And that's kind of the trend. I got a video coming on that for you guys soon. The Fear trailer, from what I've seen, has not been well received. So let's we'll discuss that in that video tomorrow. Brian Atcham says, did the Kingdom group look small to anyone else? Yeah, to me it did too. It felt like the Kingdom has just disintegrated. And they didn't touch on that in this episode like I thought they would have, but I had the idea that maybe after all those characters were killed, and especially Henry was killed, the prince was killed, that everybody else in the kingdom would just abandon ship because they would say, if Ezekiel can't keep his own son safe, how could he keep any of us safe? And they would all just lose total faith 100% and just leave because they would all be terrified. So whether or not that's true, they didn't really touch on that in the episode. But when we saw the amount of people that the kingdom had, I felt like it had basically disintegrated, and only the ones who stayed were the most loyal to Ezekiel and to the group, to the community. But I could be wrong in that. Maybe they're all there and we just didn't really see them in that last episode. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about that one. Giuseppe DeRosa has a great question. He says, Trev, do you ever think we will see snow in the Walking Dead TV series again? And I will say, I don't think so. I think they did it. It was a great episode. It was really cool. It really added to the episode. Without the snow, the episode wouldn't have been all that great. Like, it did add a lot to it and give us something different that we've never seen before and a different feel for The Walking Dead. I don't think we'll ever see it again. I don't think so. Now, if the series runs long enough, if they do 20 years, okay, maybe then at some point we'll just see it for whatever. But I don't think there's any reason to do it again, because now that we saw it and we got to see what it's like, it was cool. It was cool to see it. It was different. The snowball fight was fun. The icicle kill was awesome. The walkers in the snow was cool. I don't think it's necessary for us to ever see it again now that we got to see it that time. That's my answer for that, but you guys can leave your comments and let me know if you think differently. XBAMFX816 says, Fear Not Far, merger. Rick comeback season 12. So I don't think the Rick comeback is going to happen, but I think that the Fear merger might in a couple of years. We'll see. Kidman104 says, wow, the finale was amazing, Trev, but did you notice now that Carol finally has a strong daughter, and I bet she's going to end up with Daryl and be the perfect badass family. So if they created sort of a new... I feel sad for Ezekiel if that's what's happening, if Carol is just leaving him because of Henry and because of what happened. This is one case where a possible romantic relationship, maybe that's a topic for a Q&A video this week, whether or not we want to see Carol and Daryl together right now. I actually don't, because I would feel so sad for Ezekiel that I wouldn't want that. Now, you can have sort of a them looking out for Lydia type of situation, but I don't want to see Daryl and Carol romantically involved as a result of this, like not in that way. Maybe Connie and Daryl's fine. I'd like to see at this point Carol and Daryl stay good friends, and Carol and Ezekiel to be together again. I wouldn't want to see Carol leave Ezekiel over this permanently, and Ezekiel just to be there and be sad and everything. I feel like Ezekiel's too good of a guy, and that would make Daryl sort of a villain type of character in the eyes of the audience, because Ezekiel has so much sympathy after just losing basically everything. I feel like you don't want to go that route to have Carol and Daryl finally be in a relationship together. I don't think it's the right deal for Daryl to lead the show. For Ezekiel to have so much sympathy and people feel for him so much, I don't think you want to do it. I don't think it's a good situation overall. I don't think you do it that way. No, I don't think. I say, finally, I'll say no. It's not the right time to do a Daryl-Carol relationship. You shouldn't do it. Ezekiel's still alive. Keep it with Ezekiel. Last one will be from SVET2K, who also said, do you think it was a fear character in the radio because Scott Gimple is supposed to announce a major crossover next week? This all makes sense now, Trev. I don't know. I'm not keen on the announcals for major crossovers, or I don't know. I don't remember hearing that. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure they're going to announce some stuff in the future, and the Rick stuff's coming out, so that's awesome, and I'm excited for all that. But do I think it's a Fear character in the radio? I'll just say no. Also, keep in mind the timeline of where Fear is taking place and where The Walking Dead is taking place. There's many years in between. The Walking Dead has jumped ahead, like more than 7.5 years since All Out War, like probably 8 years since All Out War. That's a long time. When we see Fear Season 5 going through, that's probably not going to be anywhere close to where The Walking Dead is at right now. So the Fear group, 8 years later, would be in a completely different space than The Walking Dead. So we'll see what that actually ends up looking like. Maybe we'll never see that. Maybe we'll never see another crossover again. I don't know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below on the radio. And if you like this video, thumb it up below. You can share it. You can favorite it. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left to subscribe. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.